Greetings everyone, welcome to Token Nuggets. In this video, Sol and I have a chat with Patrick of Slugom Computers and asked questions about our Harmony Protocol Validator prep and setup. Big thanks to Patrick and all the members of the Harmony Mainnet Staking Telegram group for the help and support so far. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. Okay, so what we thought to do was to, do a good old, introduce ourselves. So, hey, again, this is Token Nuggets and Sol. I wonder why you have dark glasses on, but this is Sol. Hey, and this is Sol. And we have Patrick, who has been very helpful in helping us get this whole validator thing going. We're going to be talking about the sort of questions we have, sort of things we've encountered along the way thus far, and to gain some insight from you, what it means to be a validator, how easy could it be for somebody else? Because we've tried. Sol is an impeccable document kind of driven guy. He's trying to document all the steps and all of that. So we thought, you know what? Patrick will have to sign this off because we still have questions. Right. Thanks you for indulging this time. So Sol, I'll let you kick off.
Just to give you a bit of background, what's been done so far on the validating side. So we've been able to go through the documentation that Harmony provided as a walkthrough, right? So created the instance on AWS, did most of the configuration. It's a long time I've used command lines. I'm sort of good with a bit of PowerShell here and there, but Linux is a different kettle of fish.
Different shell.
I had to go do a bit of Googling, and obviously there are quite a lot of resources online that you can sort of key into and drive you towards that sort of goal. The instance is there, it's up and running, but I suppose it's more of sort of getting more feedback by yourself just to see how you overcame certain challenges, what it takes to administer this sort of infrastructure, and the things to look into security-wise. Quite a lot of people might be coming to onboard this sort of instance, and what are the things we need to be looking into? So what we've done is we've come up with a few questions. Hopefully it wouldn't be a too long one, but one of the questions is, how do we check to see if our node is synced? And what output information should we pay attention to?
Right. So that's in the guide. It would be in the managing validator command section where they cover that. And the administrators have done in the Telegram chat is we have a command we pass around pretty much that people make into a script you can run. So I call mine stats.sh.
Okay.
When I want to see the stats, I just run that and it'll show me on the validator what the block number is, on the blockchain what the block number is, and then I have it print out some other info like how hard the CPU is working and how much database storage is used on disk at that time. So I can decide if we need to start looking at more disk in the future for that if needed. So in 3 weeks though. It's been steady at about 28 gigabytes. So for one shard.
Interesting.
Okay. And how do we keep our nodes up and running at all times? I mean, is there obviously you've made mention of a script now. I mean, what do I need to be looking into? Because as it stands right now, quite a few people have obviously given us some codes to test, you run it. At times it tends to work. Like I run something called, it's like an equivalent of PowerShell, which says get a service and see what the status of that service is.
Yes.
So at times it runs, but most times it errors out and it makes you keep on thinking, so what am I actually looking at? In terms of uptime and running, am I looking at the instance being up as AWS, or is it the node that Harmony would look into and say, oh yeah, this node is up and running? I suppose that's the question.
Yeah, for the uptime, it's for the blocks you signed, I believe is how they calculate that. So that's your actual uptime. So if you sign everything, you're 100% up. What they'll have you do is run the Harmony application as a service. So in the guide, they have you set up a configuration and you have to set up the username you're going to run it under and then point it to the proper location. So with the service, then it's just service start, service Harmony start, service Harmony restart. And then when that's running, that's when it'll actually start synchronizing. Wherever our clone finishes downloading the database, Harmony will then start there and then get you up to speed. And it can take a couple hours for that sync to happen there before you actually want to send your creative validator code part of the game. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so sorry, can I just chime in here? So Patrick, how long typically would it take before one gets elected?
This is the big varying question of validating and how that works. So, and it changed a lot with the price going up 4 times in the last few days.
I know, that's crazy.
So though we could talk about all those dynamics. So it costs you 10,001 to get started. So today that's $1,850.
Absolutely, yeah.
To sign the contract, not that you spend it, you do get it back, but you
but that's
stake
a
that in your own validator. And you're staking when you do that, when you sign it to create it. So that is quite the commitment now compared to a couple months ago when I first looked and decided not to do it at first, which I probably should have done it then. And
same here, a
little easier because now you look and you need what's the average right now? 5.3 million, 5.6 million. Let's see on the cycle. The next one coming up here is going to be. The average is 5.6 right now, million. So yeah, you're looking at like $1 million to fund it in one that you need to have people put in there as well. So that's the next hurdle. So, and the way it works is the top 640 servers, if you're on the Harmony staking analytics page, become elected. So right now you would need, let's see here, 2.8 million one is the current number. Okay. So to be safe, you want 5.6. That's average.
Okay.
2.8 has got to be about 600,000.
Okay. Jeez. Yeah, that thereabouts. About 16 cents now.
Wow.
But truthfully though, Patrick, do you think it's still a good time to get into this? Honestly, from your experience, what do you think?
I thought it was a good enough time to start a few weeks ago before it really jumped here. So I'm still plugging along, and somebody has delegated over $1 million to me, so that's another start. And I know Binance holds a lot of the coins, and they do delegate to people at times as well. So something to hold out for that may happen to people. But they're also going to expand the number of slots coming up here. They've been talking about that for a long time.
Okay.
So that average number should decline a bit when they do allow that.
Yeah. Do you think there might be, because it seems the barrier to entry is higher now, because it used to be, you need 1,000 to stake at least, now to get 1,000 now you need over $100. So for me, I'm just thinking about the old ethos of trying to democratize things and make the average Joe, make it affordable for the average Joe. So isn't that old ethos out the window with that? Or how many plans combat that?
Yeah, right. With the rise in price, now it's hard to say, when I first started looking and it was 2-3 cents, it was a whole different story on, hey, I set up a plan, I bought this much, and then over the year I was going to put this much more in for staking, and then have this many coins at the end, and hopefully it stays at 2 cents that whole time. And so everything has been blown up in 2 months, or less than 2 months now, and
it's crazy.
See how that goes. It is crazy.
So without being elected, it still doesn't matter. You could still have people stake with you, and you still could have your rewards calculated and obtained by you.
Right, and one of the benefits of doing that is, and if you look at my validator page and pull that up, it shows our latest expected return is 1,122% right now.
Whoa!
And that's because I was elected for one epoch about a week ago. And at the time, I was the only one that had money in my validator, or one staked in my validator. So I got all of the rewards myself. So I ended up making 1,201 on that. And that's why I'm doing no fees for 4 months.
Wow.
On mine to get it started. After that, I don't plan on charging much. I'm just going to do enough to cover my servers I need to run for the amount of one I have. Because that's, it just depends on how much one you have, the complexity level as to how much do I need to do to manage it and all that. You have one key, And I have 2 servers set up for my one key right now. So if one goes down, the other one's there to sign. But other than that, that's it until I get over, say 11, 12 million one, if I have to worry about that at that point.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's a problem that I need to worry about it.
Right
now, I'm just going to try to get elected and stay elected on a regular basis and make sure everything stays up.
Nice. That's cool, man.
Yeah, that leads to the next question. You just mentioned keys now. At what point does the validator require more BLS keys? The reason I'm asking is at the moment, obviously going through the design documentation, I'm only able to create one BLS key. Now, whether or not I would still need more, I know part of the blogs that they reference, and hey, I need some more BLS keys. So how does the BLS key work? Because if somebody wants to bring, I don't know, we got a guy that is thinking of coming on board, but we're just the one holding things up because obviously I haven't done the final configuration, which is the creating validator key itself. So I've got one key at the moment. Is that going to be enough, or at what point in time should I be thinking of creating more BLS keys?
Right, you can add them and remove them as needed. So you can create as many as you need. On and off. So the point would be that average median stake is what you want to look at, because you always want to stay around that. So if you have, say, 11 million, you want to have 2 keys at that point. So you're averaging 5.5 million. So you try to add keys and manage that, and that's one of the things you can really see in the list is some shards have a lot of keys when they don't need them, and other shards will have a lot of 1 without a lot of keys.
Yeah, okay.
And it's interesting to look at those and why they go that way. Although some of them are set up intentionally like that. Yeah. Other ones may just be kind of in a ghost mode. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
And admin just let it go, but people are still delegating away whether they know or not, because most of them have the same returns overall. Really, it's funny to get which one has the highest question, because it's designed so that everyone gets an average of the same thing.
Ideally, yeah.
Yes. So the unintentional side effect of staking in a new validator is if you happen to get surprise elected, like I did that one morning and I was the only one there are some bigger rewards for everybody. So you can make up the downtime of waiting for a validator to start if they happen to get one of those outside fringe pickups for a cycle.
Yeah. That could happen, Yeah.
Yep. Okay. It happened to 5 of us. So there's 5 of them out there. And I think 3 of those 5 are fully elected now, and myself and one other one are still trying to get back.
Okay. So when is it likely that you'll get elected again? Do you think when you never can tell?
Never can tell. Nope. And yesterday morning, I was at like 6:24 for a long time during the day, but then people must have rearranged their keys and things happened, and I ended up not getting elected. I ended up at like 6:47 or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So it is hard to tell. You sit there and wait, and you have to decide, if am I putting more in or moving it, or at all those epoch cycles, because you want to get it done that or right after that, depending on what you're doing. So
that's true. Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
So really, the management is watching that and deciding right now, do I need to do anything at this point or recruit more?
Oh,
gosh. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So you got some more questions because I have you listed.
I think there's also one bit, I'll tell you, Patrick. So most of obviously, there are questions that we need to answer when it comes to the validation section. If you've got this URL, what name do you like to be addressed on, to be published on, how many mainnet, that sort of thing. I think the area that puzzles me now, which is still holding things off, is how we decide percentages, because their default values for maximum rate, which is set to 0.1, rate 0.1, and they have all these definitions. And I am staking at the moment. I've been staking with 2 guys, I think, Stratos and Kratos, I can't remember what it is. Well, I got the help through my mate TJ, because I just bought these tokens, a few thousands there, left them on Binance, just sitting gathering dust, nothing happened. And he goes, hey mate, you need to go on to so, and I'm like, I can't do it. And it's quite shocking that now I'm actually writing the code and trying to get it up and running. You see, 'cause I didn't want to speak. So I suppose what drove me to the guy was that I think he was offering 5%, and there was another section.
Yeah, and he had 100% uptime. All the, his fundamentals stacked up. Really, that was.
And I suppose I haven't actually done our configuration because I'm not sure which areas of this is reversible and which ones remain permanent where you can't change. So I don't want to go with a default value and hey, you know, we're not helping the community build. And,
I think Patrick could help explain how best to work that out, really.
Yeah. Well, I think there's only 3 things you can't change, and they all have to do with the rates, like you said. Everything else, the name, your description, the URL, you can definitely change all of those.
Okay.
Because I know I read something which said something about being permanent as a configuration. I'm like, oh, whoa. I need to be able to reverse.
Yeah. So what is reversible?
The max rate and the max change rate can't be changed. Right. So you have to set what the maximum you would ever charge for your rate. Guesstimate at that, what it would be.
What's the best strategy here, Patrick? I know this is digging a bit. What's the best strategy?
If you want to scare people, you want to set that to 100%, right? I set it to 20% online just in case anything ever went really bad. Depending on what they do, they might set a minimum fee of 5% as the discussion right now.
Right.
If they don't do that, I'm still going to try to keep it under that as low as I can, depending on what the server cost is. But I think I did 20% on mine for my max rate.
Okay, fantastic. And so
where I think I set it 10% a day, but that's kind of just up to you. Most places I think have that set to either 5 or 10% a day for the maximum they would change.
Right.
Rate.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I think
the other one is your minimum self-delegation, which is your 10,000 one.
So long as you get your 10,000, you're good to go.
Yep, or more, you're fine.
Okay.
So I suppose I can just withdraw my tokens from the guys that I staked it with, because I'm hoping to take that. Would I need to have those tokens ready when I'm doing the validation script, or do I have to run?
They have to be in the wallet you're going to use for that. So on the validator, when you it should have had you create a, or I don't know if you imported a wallet for that or whatever you did, but for the key store wallet you're using on the server,
Okay.
You want the 10,000 in that wallet. The one the validator address is that you're going to have on the page, all that stuff. Okay. Right. Yeah. In your wallet, you could unstake them and then at the next cycle move it over once you're up.
Okay.
So you just until the end of a cycle, and you get rewards even if you undelegate until the end of a cycle.
Until cycle ends, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then at least when you're using the one wallet in Chrome, you can move it to another pool after the start of a new cycle. Right. I know there's a few older wallets that I'm not so familiar with that don't allow you to move it, but if you import it into the newer one, you can go to the site and move them right away. So.
All right. Nice. All right.
That makes sense. And what would be your industry standard best practices towards security? I mean, I've just gone by the default values. So if you get what I mean, like on the Amazon side of things, they will give you like EC20 for a username, and it's hard to change that. Are there scripts that one can exploit just to make sure we have uniqueness in terms of names? I want to create a name for someone else who wants to run X, Y, and Z of a service. Should we look at that? I mean, are there industry standard best practices that Harmony has approached, or I don't know. It's an open question.
Yeah, they do have their security tips in a guide, which they work. They're kind of rough to read and go through. And
I tried it.
They suggest setting up like a security key, so purchasing a security key for logins and things like that. So one kind of just depends on your system administrator skills. But my best practices, I definitely recommend setting up SSH keys for logging in only.
Yeah.
No use.
Okay. The usual. Okay.
Use root accounts, set up an account for the Harmony program to run as, and call up in under a directory they can get to. So that way you're not running it as a root account or something like that as well.
Yeah, so you get what I'm trying to say now from a security standpoint, is I tried to create another account, but then I'm having difficulties in terms of read and write access, or it just wouldn't run. It would say run as sudo, and it drives you a bit bonkers, so.
Yep, okay. And if you do things as sudo and they're supposed to be a regular one, you'll have different permission on files you create and things like that, which can run you into trouble.
So I need to go back to my Linux classes then.
We all had to go back to doing that, exploring Linux again.
Okay, cool. I think that's about it
overall.
For me.
The guide is really good and easy to follow. At least the software runs really nice when you get it going. So, and as you're talking about earlier, if you do view your status in Linux when it's running, I think I shared the output with you, and it shows it listening on some ports on your local machine, and that's the only way you know it's running and working is like that. But there's a log file you can watch as it runs. See, another way to know it's going. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I think I found out that HTOP, as I've never used HTOP as a utility for monitoring. And I thought, oh wow, okay. So that's how much memory I'm using, and that's what my optimization is, and the services, and so that really helped. Yeah.
So again, Saul, I think we discussed. We had a discussion around how do we differentiate stakers' deposits and all of that. Is there some sort of record keeping, something that shows us a record of transactions?
For sure. There's on the validator pool page, when you look at your validator, it'll show you all the addresses who are staked with you on the bottom of that page.
Okay.
There is a Harmony Analytics bot, which you can put your validator wallet address into as a favorite and then get notifications from them.
All right.
Okay. So you can see when delegations come and then cry when they leave. And all the other info that's pertinent. It'll yell at you if you're not elected every 15 minutes leading up to it. So you get berated by it and be reminded that it's coming, and you have to find some more people to help you out. So
all right. Nice. Okay, cool.
So do you think it's a lot of work to administer, Patrick? Is it a one-man's job? Would we have to get someone? How much would we be considering in terms of security when I get someone else to monitoring us? It makes your head.
Once it scales, I'm not sure how that goes. I think starting out with up to maybe 4 keys, I don't think you'd have any problems as one person keeping an eye on it now and again. And if you have someone to back it up if you're not around at certain times, it'll be good. But pretty much once it's set up and flowing, it's pretty good software.
Yeah, cool. And how's the uptime determined? So we had a discussion about this as well. How's the uptime determined? Is it by default per your instances, or how is that measured? Because I see some people go with 100% uptime, some with lower. How is that determined?
That's all measured by when you're elected. Did you sign every block? And that's the number on there. Right, so if it's lower, they missed a couple of blocks. And if you go over to the Smart Stake Explorer version, the Harmony Smart Stats, I don't know if you're familiar with that site.
No.
There's a validator that has an info site, and I can send you guys the link.
Oh, please send the link, please. Okay.
Yeah.
We got to check that out. So
sign into your wallet with it, and it'll show you all your info on you, and then there's that link. And then you can look at everyone you're staking in, and it'll show you all the stats on them, including like your average earnings, sign percentage, current sign percentage, how much is staked in, everything.
Nice.
Everything on one page for your wallet.
Excellent.
It's great. So it's smartstake.io.
Smartstake.io. Got a note of that. Yeah. Excellent. It's good stuff. Smartstake.io. So we've got to check that out. So, wow. Okay. Wow. So any other questions from you?
I can't think about. I think Patrick has done a lot. You've given us quite a lot to think about, and obviously, I suppose we're now at that stage where we can sort of move forward now, and hopefully we get elected, and sort of take it from there. Really, I think I sort of got a bit spooked thinking, So now that we have all these people staking with us, what would happen? How would I administer them and that sort of thing? So it's more of a due diligence for us just to make sure we tread cautiously, we get the technical side done, we're confident. Someone else like yourself has sanity checked it, you've done it before, then I can get into the abyss and, we can get people on board. So it's just that, bog standard, centralized way of doing a system. So I know this is like a decentralized, landscape, but
for sure. Have to look at the test net, so you can always run your server on the test network and get free coins over there, or test them, send them around. Every Harmony wallet, there's a drop down to swap over to the test network. You can get free coins to test out.
Oh, cool.
Okay. The validator cycles are a lot shorter, so you can actually run it and get it elected and stake it with another account and see how it all works out and make
all right.
Before you even bother with running it on the on the main one.
So. Okay. I think I might have to look into that. That's a good one, because
you should be able to do it with the same wallet and everything. You just have to change that server from the production to test, and pretty much
to test. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's look into that, Sol. Okay. Let's have a gander at that. Oh, nice.
I think we might have to do that just to play around and just make sure, I'm now confident. Then I can come back to this and give it a test run.
So are we pretty much good to go then, Sol? Do you think we're good to go? Because any other things? Because we thought we'd have this chat with Patrick and then see if we're good to go.
I think we're pretty much good to go. I think it's more of how to see in practice how this BLS key works. So would my BLS key be enough for the first set of 10 people that are coming on board? I don't know how that would work,
Yeah, the key isn't related to the number of people. It's your total one. So, if you're over 6.5 million, you're okay.
It doesn't matter. All sits on the same key. So no matter the number, infinite amount of number, all can sit on the same key.
Yeah,
so exactly. So we're good to go. We're good to go.
The big one here.
I just need to get elected then. Woohoo!
Yeah. Right. The Who Boy pool. That's a good example. They have 27 million one staked, and they have one key still.
There you go. There you go. We're pretty much good to go.
But,
I think we should go. So okay,
things like that.
Yeah. Good tips, Patrick. And
now, let me just look at all the questions.
We're following you guys on Twitter as well. Patrick's thing. Yes, I think I followed you guys. We followed you guys on Twitter.
The Slugom Computers validator.
Slugom, yes.
Computers.
Yes.
Okay. So which one?
Yes. Slugom Computers. .1. Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yep. That'll get you.
Oh, nice.
I think
nice.
Pretty much touched on every bit of question that I had, and you've sort of given me that confidence that I needed to see, Patrick, because I looked at you guys' profile. I looked at your followers. You have a bit of discussion and you do your thing. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just see. So I think with the stakers daily distribution and maximum rate, maximum change rate and rate, I think you've sort of ironed that out for me, and I think we're pretty much good to go.
Right.
I've done quite a lot of testing. I've looked at all the codes. I've gone through up and down of all the keys, /HMI, where the hell are you, So it's getting to that stage where initially we was looking at the utilization in terms of cost, but we sort of matured over that now, and we now have an instance up and running for 6 days. Okay, well, it didn't fail, so a bit of confidence. So with this catch up, I've been having a chat all day with TJ, my mate, and saying, well, as long as we can get this sorted, we're good to go.
It's been so just to recap again. So it's just a bunch of guys who have an interest in the blockchain, not just crypto. So we've been geeking out from our sheds. If this was a daytime meeting, we probably would have been in our shed, garden shed.
I love my shed.
So thankfully we're indoors today. So and we thought, you know what, we're good to go. Let's just have this chat with you. We listed the questions and thought to have a chat with you. Sol has been tinkering on, so we'll get together, tinker a bit, and hopefully we'll launch. And thank you again publicly for all your help, Patrick.
Yeah, no problem.
It's been really
cool. Thank you so much. Thanks very much for taking the time.
And sorry, for what it's worth, Patrick, I think we should schedule something for maybe a month or so from now, and just have a general catch up. Just publish that, as our friends from across the waters. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
That sometime. Yeah, excellent. Thank you ever so much. We really do appreciate.
Thanks so much, man.
Sol, any more last words from you, Sol? You know.
Well, I mean, he's sort of brought some like light to what we've been doing.
And confidence.
You carry out projects like this, and you're just thinking, well, you might be impacting quite a larger community. You see, so and going down the road, you want to see where you would be vision-wise in the next, 2-5 years, and say, hey, actually, we started this. Look at where we are. So it's always good to tread cautiously, just to make sure you're doing the right thing, sharing ideas with people like yourself who's done it before, really.
Excellent.
Just to have the extra confidence.
Thanks. Thank you. Patrick, please, any last words of advice from you before we venture into this whole validator world?
Not much. I just encourage the people to spread it around and getting as many validators as possible to help decentralize things and take a risk on a couple upcomers, and you might get some extra rewards out of that. Even if you put 1,001 there to help them out, and it helps, and you could get something out of it, a lot more.
Absolutely.
You might get so.
Excellent. I agree with that. Thank you so much. And to be fair to the Harmony community, have been very helpful as well. Everyone's ever so helpful and ready to help, ready to jump in on the chats and all of that. So it's really good. Kudos to the community. I must say that, really. That's to be said. Excellent. Well, thank you ever so much, Patrick. We shall catch you again online. It's been amazing talking to you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Man. Thanks so very much, man.
Right. Cheers, Patrick.
Thanks so much, Patrick.